and click go live. Wait. Okay. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. It's your girl Adina here with my sister Monique, and this is the 14th plus edition. In fact, we'll just call this the Liberated Pssy Pop-In because we're just popping in to say, hey, you might have missed us over the last 3 weeks. We have had sessions. Yes, Ashe. We've had sessions that, for whatever reason, the technology wanted it to just be in the cosmos, but we have upgraded ourselves and gotten ourselves ready to have this beautiful conversation with you. So, like I said, my name is Adina Gittens-Smith. I am the goddess of magical movement. I'm here with my sister Monique. We don't have to do abracadabra to get her in because she already in, y'all. She in. She in. So to tell you quickly who I am, I'm the co-founder of Belly Dancers of Color Collective. That's just one of the many things I do. I have the amazing opportunity of facilitating Goddess Technology and Goddess Gathering. This year, in about 45 days, Goddess Technology is taking its first international retreat to Bali. We have 26 women who are accompanying us on a magical journey of self-discovery and realization of the magic that is already present. So that is what I do. Of course, personal coaching and working with women on a weekly and daily basis to realize who we are and to really step into mastery. We're walking ourselves home and we're bringing our sisters with us. Moon Mama, what's up with you?
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl. Hey. Oh, question. Me and
What?
Moon Mama been practicing this.
Okay.
Monique, are you
Yes,
down with LPP?
you know me.
Ashe! And for those of
What?
you who are going, what's LPP? Liberated Pssy Podcast, y'all. The
Girl,
Liberated Pssy Podcast.
it's so funny that gives me a feeling of feeling aged because I remember when that song was out. So the resistance you hear in me is like
Mhm.
it feels like I'm old.
But we're speaking to the people who know that song. The people who
I
know that song are our tribe. Those are folks that need to get in here. Those folks fresh out the box might not know that song,
know.
don't
Right.
even know what we're talking about. But our tribe knows the call. So are
That's
you down
right.
with LPP?
That is hilarious. So it's really good to be here. I am Monique, also known as the Moon Mama. I am an astrologer. I am a life coach, and I am the founder at Follow the Sun and the co-facilitator with Adina at Goddess Gathering, and also the co-facilitator at 13 Moons with Gabrielle Zelina, also known as Pachama. And I am excited to be here. I'm so grateful that we
Ashe.
have found a way to do our work and not be
Ashe.
stumped by technology things. So, welcome everyone.
Welcome. And this is what I say, technology works for us. Our
Mhm.
magic is alive and well. And one thing that was said in our podcast that we had yesterday with the beautiful brother Tahuti is that IG and Facebook and all of these platforms are our Ouija boards. And so we're going to
Mhm.
move that thing to get the communication in and out that we need. It's our Ouija board. We're wielding this magic for our
Yeah.
benefit. And I'm excited for that yantra to see it that way. Ashe?
Yes. Yes. I
Ashe.
say. And it
Ashe.
works. It
It
works.
it did work. It
Yeah.
did. So Mo, can you
Mhm.
give us the astrological update? We know we had the beautiful full moon that came in yesterday. That energy, I still feel very present. I feel a little more rest in my soul today. Yesterday I was
Mhm.
restless. I told you that, but today I feel a
Mhm.
little more calm. Just tell us what's happening astrologically, and that will surely lead our conversation.
Yes. So we still have the moon in Sagittarius. We had a full moon yesterday with the moon in Sag at 2 degrees and the sun at 2 degrees of Sagittarius. The moon came in a Jupiter hour on a Jupiter day. I
Mm.
mean, like it was like we doubling down. We really want y'all to understand this experience of expansion and luck and blessings and your connection to the spiritual realm. That's the thing that it's important to understand that Jupiter is, because Jupiter is the traditional ruler of Pisces and the current ruler of Sagittarius. And that is about our spirituality. It's
Mhm.
about, how do we connect to the spiritual realm? Is it meditation? Is it crystals? Is it breath work? Is it just through consciousness and understanding how this reality works, and that you don't have to understand how you connect? You just know you connected.
Yes.
You just
Just
can feel
knowing
it.
it is
Right.
part of the magic. Just
That's
know
it.
it. Because then
That's
you
right.
you use it. It's like
That's
having
it.
resources, you don't even know they're there.
That's
You
right.
don't
Because
know
you're
that you sit
breathing
on
it
$1 million.
anyway. You're
Yeah.
breathing it. It's your breath, right? So
Mhm.
this is this power of and we're in a new cycle. So this is really the jump start to the new dimension, the new earth, the this is the practical walking into it. And it's very important for people to, whatever they've been doing, to keep going, because I can
Mhm.
feel this sort of gap. Like you
Mhm.
and I have had many fapus with the technology around um LL for around our podcast, but the work
Mhm.
is keep going. That's okay. So
Mhm.
okay, just keep going, keep moving. And so we are moving out of an old reality and into a new one. And even if things feel clunky or if things feel uncertain, just keep taking the step. Take the next step
Just
in
keep
front of it.
going. Just keep
Just
going. Just keep
That's
going. Like
right.
one of those little nursery rhymes.
That's right. Just keep going. That's right, mother of
Mhm.
three sons. I'm sure you did a
Mhm.
lot of nursery rhyming,
I turn
right?
everything into a song. That's what you do.
That's right. That's right. And it works. And
It
so
did.
those are the things that are really significant right now.
Mhm.
Let's see if there's anything else. That Mercury is sextiling Saturn today. Okay, so Mercury is in Taurus, and this is the energy of our intuition. Like
Mm.
Mercury, because Taurus is the language of your body. It's what you feel. You know what I mean? It's like,
Mhm.
and Mercury is your mind. And so this is feeling the intuition, and like something feels right. This doesn't feel right. This feels right. This feels like we're close, but we're not, like really tapping into the feeling of it and understanding that the feeling is significant. So many of us ignore our feelings. Goodness
Yes.
gracious.
I think we were taught, as a Cancer son, I was
Hmm.
taught to, people don't care about your feelings and people don't need to know everything you feel because you told me it still shows on my face. I don't know how to not, I don't
Hmm.
have a poker face to like not show it. But I literally was told that they don't care about your feelings.
Right,
Stop it. You're too sensitive. And so
right.
now at this stage, we're saying, no, feel your feelings are literally everything. That's the
That's right.
fuel for all that you do, all your magic.
That's right. And it's not about if they care about your feelings, it's if you care about your feelings.
Yeah. But what
Because
that what happens is it teaches you not to. At least that's what happened to me.
that's
I
right.
felt so far away from my feelings, even though I was still sensitive. It took me a long time when people asked me, what do I want?
Yes,
I didn't know.
right. And that starts with, what do you feel? What are you
Mhm,
feeling? You know what I mean?
mhm,
It's not complex. It's, what are you feeling? Oh, I'm feeling tightness in my stomach. Oh,
mhm,
I'm feeling energy in my head. Oh,
mhm.
my foot feels, you know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
We're not talking about something that's far off. We're talking
Yeah.
about something
Physicality,
that
literally
starts
physicality.
very practically, right?
Mhm,
What are you feeling?
mhm,
And to not ignore your feelings.
mhm.
And it doesn't mean that you have to create a whole lot of space for them, but just the acknowledgement of it is significant. Just to acknowledge, oh, I'm feeling like I need some rest. I'm
Mhm,
feeling hungry. I'm feeling like I'm eating and I'm not hungry. I
mhm.
feel like, you know what I mean? Like really
Yeah.
bring a relationship to your feelings, because that's your first line of connection to yourself.
Mhm.
So with Saturn sextile Mercury, Saturn in Pisces is this um it's this ephemeral energy. It's this devotion, right? So
Mhm.
literally it's like doubling down on your devotion, right? Like you feel something, and then not running away from it, not pushing it back, actually moving into it. Like, oh, I
Mhm.
feel this thing and it feels uncomfortable. And okay, I'm not going to make myself wrong, but I'm going to lean into that and go, what is that? Why? I'm so curious about that. And it really does make a difference. So, you know, it's important as we move forward in our lives and in the world right now that we do so having owning ourselves, having a deep connection to ourselves so that we understand our individuality and we are not giving up our energy to make other people feel comfortable. That's the reason why it's important for you to have access to your feelings,
Right.
because sometimes we will give it up because somebody else doesn't feel it, because somebody else doesn't get it or recognize it or empathize with it, and you are responsible for your portion. So you can't let it be about other people.
Yeah. I find that women, especially, but I hear men do this too, will say they feel something and then check in with somebody else to say, is that okay? Like,
Yeah.
I feel such and such. Is that okay? Is that wrong? It's like, just own where you are. But we haven't given ourselves permission generally to do that. Like,
Yes.
folks feel the need to check in on where they are in their feeling instead of just, okay, we got to own where we are and then grow from that place, not
Yes.
necessarily source the good or badness of it through the eyes of another, because they don't know where you are.
Right. They don't know. They
Yeah,
can't
they
know.
can't know.
They
Mhm.
can't know.
Yeah,
And to understand that if we can really get that there is no good and bad, it's
yeah,
just a hard thing to get. We
that's a
can't do
paradigm
that.
shift
It is.
because folks are really attached to
Yes.
those polarities. This
Yeah.
is good, this is bad,
Yes.
like
That is
up
right.
and down. Yeah.
And it does a lot of it restricts us from really accessing the full scope of what's available, because here's the thing. I don't know if anybody like I that the podcast with Terrence Howard and Joe Rogan has been, I haven't listened to it all, but I've listened to a lot of it, and it's one of the things that Terrence Howard is talking about is from another perspective. I say this all the time in
Mhm.
my perspective of astrology. We cannot see with our eyes the fullness of this reality. We think that this reality is all that there is. If you know, like the the physical structure, we think the physical structure is the fullness of our experience. And that is not the case. And
Yeah.
when we don't honor the full spectrum of light, that is our senses. It's what you feel, it's what you're sensing, it's what you are perceiving, but you can't see it. And we live in a culture that says if you can't see it and if it's not quantifiable, it's not real. That
Right.
is false.
That's false. Well, even the five senses, I'm reading a book called The Black Goddess and the Sixth Sense.
Hmm.
There are more senses than five
That's
senses.
right.
But we've been taught that that's all there is. And so it's arrogance to really think that you know. It's so much more that you don't even know that you don't know.
That's
So
right.
if you could at least come to life and come to a situation with an open heart and open mind so that you're able to even glean and see what's possible and be open to developing those other senses, really that magic that we have the capacity for, but that is dormant in many, many, many of us.
That's right. And you need it. And what
Yeah.
the thing that I'm so aware of is as our world begins to change, humans need to upgrade their own systems, because you're going to need those senses to access a level of success and direction in your life, because we're not going to have the same systems in place that orchestrated our way of being. You
Yeah.
know, like we're
Yeah.
watching our government come undone. We're
Mhm.
watching the medical industry flounder. We're watching all of these systems that gave us, a sense of security and stability in this 3D reality. Those things are coming undone because the 3D reality is not all that there is. And so we're moving into, an experience of the unknown and uncertainty. And you're going to need your senses in order to have more power. And the thing about our senses is people who have melanin, I mean, everybody has melanin, but people who have access to um, greater levels of melanin we are the ones who project the reality. So it's important for us to have a command of ourselves and knowledge of who we are and how we're functioning, because if you're driving the vehicle, which is this reality, if you are the driver of the reality, it's important for you to be conscious so that you understand how you are relating to this experience and how you're creating
So
what's
imagine driving a vehicle with blindfolds on, or
yes.
sitting behind a wheel and you're literally asleep, but your feet are on the gas, not even on the brake, and you're just leaning to the side. And you could be on the road, you could be in the water, you could be on the trees, but the vehicle is going. You can hit stuff, bounce back. It's almost like a video game, and you're still alive. You bounce back and you're back in the car, but you sleep the whole time. That's
Yeah.
what you're saying. We're the driver of the reality, and we're waking up. We're starting to come and say, "Oh wow, oh, my hands are on the wheel. Oh, my feet are on the gas." And so now we can direct it. First, you're like, "Well, where am I going? I'm driving this. Where do I desire to go? What
Right.
do I desire to create? How do I desire to create it?" Like, that's the waking up to it, because you're driving it regardless. But if you're driving it asleep and unaware, then you're making the journey much more difficult than it has to be. You're going places you don't necessarily want to go, not even realizing that you're driving. Like, how did I get here?
That's
You know,
right.
what
That's
am what
right.
am I? Why is the car in the water? Like, I don't want to swim. Like, my clothes are wet. What the heck? That kind of
Right.
thing. So I love that analogy, because I know folks can resonate with, we're driving it. It's not like we can drive it. No, you are driving it.
That's
Do you
right.
want to wake up in the experience of driving it and be more productive and more successful in going to where you want to go? Or you just
Yes.
want to hit places like a pinball machine, like, oh, you bump off of that, now you're over here, you bump off of that and you go there.
Right.
That kind of thing. So I
Yes.
love that analogy. I love it.
Absolutely.
Hmm. So, Monique, we've had 3 conversations over the last 3 weeks. 2 with Adara Moselle that were amazing.
Amazing.
And then yesterday with Tahuti L, which was amazing. So with
Amazing.
Adara, we talked about Tantra as modality for liberation. And we'll have her back now that we have our technology upgraded, so you guys can
Mhm.
experience her. Those who heard it live got a great treat. Those who missed it, they just missed it. We'll do it
Yeah.
again.
Mhm.
With Tahuti, nobody saw that. It was in the StreamYard world.
Mhm.
But it
Mhm.
was another amazing conversation with the 3 of us. And we talked about using plant medicine as an opportunity for liberation and a means to help us wake up.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
really those 2 conversations tie so nicely together. What were your big takeaways from the conversations with Adara and then the conversation with Tahuti yesterday? And Tahuti will come again this Wednesday, so we'll have him back.
Um, so with the dark, like both of the conversations were so profound. Like I think my whole takeaway, like I mean, there are many takeaways, but one of them was, "Wow, I'm so sad that this didn't get recorded." Like,
Mhm.
like because it was so amazing. But
But look, the takeaway for that was for us to upgrade. So
yeah,
I'm grateful that we had that experience so that we're upgraded for our up leveling.
yes, that's absolutely
Ashe.
true. Thank you for that.
Mhm.
So the first conversation, I loved her conversation, the idea that we are connected to entities that
Ashe.
are ancestral energetic parasites, often that are connected to us, that are draining our energy, draining our purpose, our desire, feeding off of us energetically, and how we can free ourselves from that. I just was like, it's so good to talk to someone in a modern perspective where it's not laced with heebie jeebie
Mhm.
evil,
Mhm.
where it's really an understanding that that's kind of the nature of this reality,
Mhm.
that we are, because I understand the biology of it, and we are a universe, and
But
we
then
have,
Tahuti said the same thing yesterday.
that's right.
He absolutely started
That's right.
talking about the parasites and how they live in the mucus and how we can't really get rid of all of them. But oftentimes that's powering us and we don't even realize. We think
Right.
it's us, but
That's right.
it's the connection. So
That's right. And
y'all
so
just
I
wait till
just,
we had him back. Ooh, it's so good.
it's so good. It's so good. So that was really powerful about Adara and Tahuti. And then the second conversation we had with Adara, we talked more about sex, right? I
Hmm.
think.
We
And that
did.
was really powerful. It was just a very these conversations are very up level conversations, and I'm in deep appreciation. Um, and then yesterday with Tahuti, the what he said about mushrooms and taking 5 grams was just, I was like, oh, like I just got it, like it, and I had not had it that perspective before, because I find mushrooms to be very agitating in my psyche,
Mm-hmm.
like I can't take it,
Yeah.
and so his perspective was very supportive.
Ashe, Ashe. One thing I love about Tahuti, and I said this yesterday, is like he's an example of someone who lives in ritual. He
Mm-hmm.
literally, like every time I see him, he's fresh out of the jungle, off of or out of the woods, just got finished with
Mm-hmm.
some ceremony. He don't I know the brother has shoes, but I rarely see him in shoes. He is
Mm-hmm.
grounding everywhere he goes. He's touching trees, he's doing Tai Chi in the yard. Like he'll come to my house and be in the back. I'm going in the backyard. He's out there,
Mm-hmm.
like talking to the birds and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
He is amazing. He gave me courage to try 5 grams and go beyond. Because at first I
Mm-hmm.
was like, is that too much? That kind of thing. He's like, well, you can do it. And I was like, okay, I can do it. Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you just need that encouragement, someone to
Yeah.
say you can do it. And I was like, okay, I can do it. And
Yeah.
I did it. I think I
Yeah.
talked to you on that journey. I truly did it. I've done it many times since then, and been having my awakening and
Mm-hmm.
opening and blooming and blossoming. So these are tools for
Yes.
your personal journey and helping to get clear and to release those things that are not going in the car where you want to go. Like you got something in the back driving you while you sleep, something
Yes.
parasite is turning the wheel. And it's like, get out of my car.
Yes.
No,
That's
you
right.
get out and you get out. Like put them out.
Yes. It,
So
it it's really an interesting thing to have, to be in a space where we are waking up, right? And I
mhm,
actually see aspects of my psyche that weren't available to me before.
yeah,
It's real. Like
yeah.
I literally see things that were not available to me and they are now. And I'm how like how is this possible? It's just
Yeah.
a very interesting thing.
It's like what Terrence Howard says. There are things that you don't know that you don't know. And
Hmm.
so, at least if you are open to the experience, it can present itself because you and I both know spirit speaks to us in subtle ways. The spirits
Yes.
that's trying to move us along. Now, the parasites, they are pretty bold. Those
Hmm.
entities are bold and loud and bullies, I would even say, on a certain
Yes.
respect, because you don't know your sleep, so they're just taking over. Like if it's somebody driving asleep, the things that are in the vehicle that are awake, like they don't know where they're going, they're just going to take the wheel.
Yes.
Okay, but as
Yeah.
you wake up to your own experience and take the wheel back, that's a power play, that's a power position. So
Hmm.
yes,
It's very interesting because oh God, I lost the thought. It's okay. It's okay. It's gone.
it's all right.
It's all
Everyone, Monique and I are taking a group of ladies to Bali, and
right.
we'll be doing this work, this deep work, in a place that supports these kind of conscious awakenings.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, you can do it anywhere, but to do it in a naturally beautiful place, in a place where we've taken out of our normal everyday work schedule and responsibility schedule, and you have dedicated time to cocoon yourself and focus on you, we will be quantum leaping
Mm-hmm.
into a newer version and upgraded versions of ourselves, everybody at their own individual level. Like it's no wrong place to be. The
Mm-hmm.
fact that you want to do it means that it's for you. So we're about 45 days out from this amazing Bali adventure for
Yeah.
Goddess Technology Bali. We have two weeks. So one week we'll have a group of ladies, and the next week we'll have a group of ladies, and the second week is my birthday. So we're gonna turn up in the middle of all that up leveling. Hey, so
It's so
party.
exciting.
Yes, we still party. You know what I mean? It's not like,
Yes.
oh, so high and mighty and we don't. Oh, yes, we do. We will back it up. We will have a good time. So,
Absolutely.
what are you
Like
feeling about
we
Bali?
we we of course
Oh,
I'm here.
am
Can
I?
you hear me?
I
Can you
can
hear
hear you
me?
now.
Okay.
Yes.
Um, spirituality is not about losing your humanity.
Right.
It's not. It's never been about that.
Right.
And we come from these ideas of Christianity and Islam where it's all about being humble and being, you know, prudish, and that has its place, you know what I mean? But that doesn't
Mm-hmm.
but everything gets to exist in your spiritual experience. So yes, we turn it up. You know what I mean? Yes,
Mm-hmm.
we know how to
Mm-hmm.
have a good time because that is a part of this human experience.
Right.
And it's the opposite of the restriction. And we do that too when we need to. I'm so excited about Bali. I
Mm-hmm.
am in this very um quiet way just yet because it's my first time being somewhere as a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just curious what that's going to be like. That's really it. Like I'm curious like, like I get to go do my work. And so I'm excited to meet women in their intimate spaces, in their spaces of trauma and pain and joy, and like to be able to hold the space for safety. Like I'm very excited about that. And I'm excited to eat. Like I I don't eating in America is not always great for me because
Mm-hmm.
I'm aware of um how we do food here in this
Mm-hmm.
country.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to be able to go someplace where I know that there is a standard of well-being and health for the citizens. So, maybe I'll be able to eat meat. That's how I feel. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, maybe I'll be able to eat some meat, because I don't eat meat generally.
We
And
have a private chef who is preparing all of our meals outside of the times when we go out. We have our own dedicated private chef at our villa who will say, Goddess, your wish is my command. I am
and
here to serve you lovely, beautiful, healthy food prepared with love just for you.
uh, I am so excited about that because I really love Asian type food also. Like
Hmm.
that's one of my favorite type of meals. So
Hmm.
I'm super excited about that. I'm excited to be sitting with the women.
Hmm.
I'm anticipating depths of sharing and
One more thing
unravel.
about the food.
Yeah.
We're having a cooking class. So we'll be so in love with the food and the spices and things like that. Before we leave, we'll have an opportunity to learn how to make some of our favorite dishes and bring them back home with us.
Oh, that's so
Ain't that
exciting. That's
awesome?
exciting. And then I'm excited to shop. I'm
Okay.
excited to buy a few things, you know what I mean? Because
Hmm.
I'm like jewelry, turquoise, like things like
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
Because I it'll be different than what's here. So I'm excited
Hmm.
for that. I'm excited. There are lots of things
Awesome.
I'm excited for. I'm kind of excited for the flight too. I know it's going to be long, but I get to really
Hmm.
rest and bring some audible books and so I'm
Hmm.
excited.
That's awesome.
How about you?
Well, one thing I'm super excited about is the spa that we're going to that does these elaborate floral baths. They cover the
Mm,
whole surface of the water with flowers in different patterns. And literally 4 years ago, I said to myself, this was before COVID, Bali was on my travel list. I wasn't trying to do a retreat initially. I was going to go to that spa and to bathe in those floral in that flower and just have this amazing spiritual bath. And what has bloomed since then is this retreat, taking my sisters with me, and of
mm,
course we're going to do these floral baths. I'm so excited. Like the exact spa that I picked years ago is the spa that our retreat coordinator picked. I didn't even communicate to her specifically the spa that I wanted to go to. So for me, that was an affirmation of speaking my reality, like really
yes.
creating my life.
Yeah.
I said that to myself and I was serious about it. And here it is. It's like literally right here. I remember watching the movie. I think Bali came fully on the I had heard about Bali and things
Hmm.
before, but that movie Eat, Pray, Love, when Julia Roberts was
Yes.
traveling and trying to find herself. I remember initially watching the movie and like, what is her problem? I didn't understand what her issue was. Like, why did she have to leave? What was she trying to do? But you live a little bit more and you get like, okay, she was really just looking for connection, looking for a depth and trying to escape the rat race and the rote of the cycle that's been set up for us. Because,
Hmm.
you know, and so she went to Bali. I think maybe that was the first stop that she went in that movie. And what I thought initially was like, well, dang, white folks get to just do whatever they want. Like, how could she go and take a month off work and just eat and pray and love? How do you get to do
Hmm.
that? Like, who you got to be to do that?
Hmm.
And I laugh because that's literally what I've been creating in my life is an eat, pray,
Hmm.
love scenario. Like food is
Hmm.
very sensuous and a beautiful experience for me.
Hmm.
Meditation, I'm always in ritual too. And that's a thing. And then loving. Look, I'm all about, being in this love. So it's funny. I looked at it and I was triggered, but I was triggered. It was a proclivity because it was something that I wanted as well. I didn't think it was
Mhm.
available to me because I thought I'd always have to work in the traditional sense. But my work that I do now literally is a joy. It's the work of my life. And it doesn't feel like work. It feels
Yeah.
like what I'm supposed to be doing because as I'm working, I'm learning, I'm expanding, I'm growing, and it literally feels it's fun. It's
Yes.
fun to do this and to get to go to Bali with my girls, and
Yeah.
my sister and my niece.
Yeah.
My actual sister is coming.
Yeah.
My little
Yeah.
sister is coming. Her two daughters are coming. Like the
Mhm.
ladies who
Mhm.
are coming. These are my.
Yeah.
And these my
Yes.
folks. This,
Yes.
I mean, I couldn't have prayed for. I couldn't have imagined it better.
Yes.
So what's being created is beyond what I initially had planned for myself. So when we pray and when we vision for the future, we say this or something better. Oh, this
Yeah.
is surely something better. It's something.
That's amazing. That's
Yes.
powerful.
I got tingles right now just thinking about it. I'm so
That
excited.
is so powerful. I love that. I really also love the Eat Pray Love was an interesting thing. I remember very much when that book came out. The book, not
Mhm,
the movie with Julia Roberts, but the book.
mhm.
I can't even think of the name of the author right now. But I remember being very anti that book because she was a white
Yeah,
woman, and I was like,
I
this is
was
so interesting because I was like,
mhm,
this woman is so interesting because there are people who are out here doing deep internal work and she just off traveling, you know what I mean? Like it almost felt like a slap in the face to the
mhm,
depths of spiritual work because she had so much resource she could escape. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Which to me was like anti-spirituality. Like we're not gonna run. Like you and I are not running from anything. you
I know.
know um we are really creating. So I really love that perspective because this is our eat pray love, and we created it from the inside of our souls. You know what I'm
For sure.
saying? Like
Yeah.
we are not running from anything. We are literally in this co-creative process that has taken us into ourselves so deep that we get to pull it out with 26 other women who are cultivating the depths of themselves. And so
Mhm,
I love the full circle of that eat pray love thing because
mhm.
it might look similar, but it's not.
Mm-mm. It's so much. It's so not like you said. It's so not.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But to understand that you were triggered by it too is funny to me. It's like, oh, look at us.
Yes. Yes. And that we
Triggered
get
by the privilege of what that experience and then even to write a best-selling book about it.
right.
What that experience was kind of showing it off in your face is kind of how like you just bragging. But now I even understand the value of bragging. You need to
Yes.
tell the universe thank you and yes, this was good. Yes, universe, more of that, please. Our
Yeah.
sister Tamika calls the universe her boo, and I love that. Uni boo, yes, more of that,
Hmm.
please.
Yes.
Yes, more
Yes.
of
Yes.
that.
Yes.
So more
Absolutely.
floral baths, more delicious food prepared with love, more
Yes.
pray, more
Yes.
awakening. We're here for all of that, and we're
Hmm.
taking melanated women for this experience that
Right.
feels fucking orgasmic.
Yes. And we're taking women with us. We're not
Yes.
running from anything. We're
Mm-mm, mm-mm,
we're saying, okay, this is a powerful experience,
mhm,
and it's for me and it's for all of the people, many people that I love, right? Like
mhm.
it's not excluding anything. You know what I mean?
I
You're
feel
not
like we're
leaving.
running to something. We're just
That's right.
running
You're
into
not
the
leaving
hearts of
your husband.
ourselves.
You're not
Yeah.
leaving your husband. You're
No,
not
no, no.
making him wrong for any. You know
No,
what I
he'll
mean? Like
be here when I get back.
right. It's a completely different experience,
Yes.
and I just love it, and I love it. So
Mhm.
I'm on the verge of a new aspect of myself that I don't know yet,
Okay.
and I get to be in this middle place
Mhm.
before we go, and I'm gonna be in the middle place. Like that's what I'm working to give myself permission
Mhm.
to stay in the gap for as long as until I get on that plane and head to you.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, what does the gap feel like? What is
We
the
talked about this the last podcast that we had that was recorded, you said it was like we were in the theater right before the curtains come up, right
Yeah.
before the show. And that magical moment where you're like, ooh, this is going to be good. It's that
Yes.
kind of place.
Yes. And I'm super excited
Hmm.
for that. Like I've never been able to allow myself to linger in a
Hmm.
space without trying to fill it up with something.
Hmm.
And I'm doing that right now, and it's really interesting. It's like resisting the urge to want something else. I just
Hmm.
know that on the horizon is this powerful thing that's coming. So let me just sit still and allow it to get here. It's one of the things I remind myself of often is that time passes through me. I'm not passing through time. So
Ashe.
I can sit still, and time
Ashe.
and what's for me is going to get here if I'm not
Mhm.
creating resistance, which is the work to
That
remember
is
not
the
to
work.
create resistance.
'Cause that's not even sitting still when you're allowing
Mhm.
time to pass through you. You're actually having to hold the vibration to let that happen. And that
Yeah.
can feel very uncomfortable.
Yes.
Hmm.
Oh, I
Awesome.
love it. I do.
Awesome. Awesome. All righty. Well, this was the Pussy Podcast Poppin', Liberated Pussy Podcast Poppin'.
Mhm.
This was our test, like test, test, test. Make sure all of
Yes.
our I's are dotted, our T's are crossed. Does it work properly? Can we get in? Can we hear? And we see the people, we see ourselves. And the answer is yes.
Yay.
Super yay. And so we will be back on Wednesday with our guest Tahuti. We'll be talking about plant medicine and as a tool for liberation. He's an amazing brother here in the DC area. Like I said yesterday, I felt like everybody knows him because he's everywhere. He's in the wind,
Mhm.
he's in the trees, he's outside, he's on a bird. He's
Mhm.
that type of brother. But really helping you center in your power. It's not like you got
Yes.
to depend on me for this. He's not that type of shaman. He's the everyday shaman.
Yes.
Not that up on a mountain shaman. He's that everyday, right here, usable
Mhm.
shaman who is here to help you develop and grow in the way
Mhm.
that you need to for your path to unfold. So we'll have him on Wednesday, and then we'll connect with the Dara again and get her back so we can have a third amazing conversation with that sister. And we're
Mhm.
going to go forward. Those who love these conversations, give us your thoughts in the comments. Let us know some of the things that you may like to expound upon with us. And let's bloom together. Let's eat, let's pray, let's love. Mo,
Yeah.
you down with LPP?
Yeah, you know me.
Hey!
All right, y'all. She's been making me practice. She's been making me practice. She calls me out of the blue and be like, "You down with that?" I'm like, "Huh?" I'm
She
getting it
got
though.
it, y'all. That was like the
Okay.
20th time she got it. You
Yeah.
down with LPP, y'all, the Liberated Pussy Podcast. This is just the beginning.
Yeah.
Highly melanated women talking about conscious shit, okay, and
Mhm.
changing the world. That's what we do. Monique
Yes.
Ruffin, Moon Mama, I love you. I appreciate
Thank
you. Thank you
you.
for growing with me. Thank you for taking this journey. Those who are interested, connect with us. We meet with women every Thursday. Goddess Gathering. Monique has 13 Moons with Gabrielle Zelina, like she said. And we travel the world doing this work. So if you want to
Yes.
connect with us, come on. We're
All
going to be
right.
doing it again. This is just the beginning. All right. Links are
You're
in our
welcome.
bios. Yes. Love you. Bye.
Bye bye. It's still live, Adina.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out how to cut it off.
Oh, okay.